organ systems in the human body. These systems are one, integumentary, and the integumentary system is the largest in terms of volume and is mostly comprised of the skin. Integumentary provides protection and regulates body temperature.
Skeletal is your bones, and it's going to provide support and protection.
Then you have your muscular system, which includes your muscles, and it produces body movement.
So the nervous system is going to be the nerves that flow through your body, and it's responsible for consciousness, intelligence, memory, and controls a lot of our bodily functions.
Then there's the endocrine system, which consists of our different types of glands that secretes hormones, which regulate metabolism, growth, and development.
All right, we have our cardiovascular system, which is your heart, and that's going to help move blood throughout your body to distribute nutrients. So that's your heart and your blood vessels.
Then we have our lymphatic system, which transport lymph or fats and participates in the immune system.
Next, we have respiratory. The respiratory system is going to be majority like your lungs, responsible for gas exchange of oxygen coming in and carbon dioxide going out.
Then there's the digestive system, which is like the salivary glands, our oral cavity, things that we need to eat. So our stomach, large intestine, small intestines, all that stuff. But it digests our food and breaks it into nutrients our cells can use and expels waste products.
Next, we have urinary system. That is going to be our kidneys, our uterine. Those are some examples of the urinary system, and it's going to help filter our blood to remove waste.
And then lastly, number 11 is the reproductive system. So our mammary glands for women, so our breasts, the scrotum for men, penis for men, vagina for women, like that sort of stuff, ovaries, uterus, that sort of thing. The reproductive system basically produces sex cells that when combined and grown within the female reproductive system grows into a fetus, a little baby. 2 levels of organization in the human body. From the most simple level, which is a chemical level, followed by increasingly more complex levels of organization. The most simple level, again, which is the chemical level, is abiotic. And this is consistent of atoms, which are the smallest units of matter. And then 2 or more atoms combined can form a molecule. And then molecules are sometimes called monomers, but not all molecules are monomers. Multiple molecules can come together to make macro or bigger molecules, macromolecules, and multiple or more complex monomers can make polymers, because a macromolecule can sometimes be called a polymer. And from there, multiple different types of macromolecules come together to form an organelle. And an organelle is the structure of a cell, which then leads to living or biotic levels of organization.
So for the biotic living components of organization, the structure starts with cells, then goes to tissues, next is organs, then the organ system, and then it ends with organism.
Homeostasis control systems refers to where the control center is located in regards to the effector and the receptor parts of the system. So basically with intrinsic is everything's located within the organ, basically, or it's all located within the same place. So like what we was doing with the clot formation. the platelet was the receptor, the control center, and the effector.
Yes.
The example here is the pancreas is the receptor and the control center. But then it tells the effector to do something else. Whereas with extrinsic, it's initiated outside of the organ. So everything is in the organ, with intrinsic, but extrinsic, things are initiated outside of the organ. Right. And these coordinate the body systems are usually done through the nervous and endocrine system for extrinsic, because these two systems can control things from longer distances, because our nerves are all through our body. Endocrine system, I don't quite know, but. So it says most of the more complex homeostatic systems like regulating blood pressure require extrinsic controls, because you are using multiple organs and body parts to respond to the stimulus that causes the imbalance. So this is a long distance control that requires coordination. The control center is going to be the nervous or the endocrine system. Output signals from the control system are going to be more widespread than intrinsic control systems. So then going back to intrinsic control, it basically means that the cells in the vicinity of the change initiate the response, which means that the receptor is in the same place as the control center. So intrinsic controls are localized or in the same place to usually one organ or one area, so the receptor cells are going to be close to the control center cells. Simply put, the receptors and the control center are going to be within the same organ. So intrinsic, same organ, extrinsic, outside of it. So going back to the examples of negative and positive feedback, an example of this would be the pancreas controlling our blood sugar. So the receptor cells are within the pancreas. They sense the change, and they also are the control center to tell the pancreas, hey, something's wrong. And within intrinsic controls, the response sent out by the control center, which is the pancreas. Okay, so within intrinsic, the receptor tells the control center. But then the control center, it doesn't have to be within the pancreas. It can pull on something else that's close or localized.
And that's still within the intrinsic, as long as it's close. But if it's far, which are the two examples you gave?
Nervous and endocrine. That's the
Sounds
best.
good to me.
Me too.
Thanks for studying with us, where nursing school is simple, sweet, and easy to repeat.
If you found this helpful, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share with a nursing friend.
See you next lesson.